Real quick before the video starts, I have a new channel based around green tech stories on 4chan, and I'll be uploading videos daily over there. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to the channel in the description. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Throwaway Account in the What Should I Do subreddit. The post is titled, "My husband told me our daughter's friend tried it on with him. I didn't react well. The last couple of weeks my husband has been very quiet and has not been sleeping well. I have asked him a couple of times if he was okay and he said yes, but I could tell something was bothering him. On Saturday he said he needed to talk to me and then burst into tears. I made us a cup of tea and sat down with him. He blurted it out and said that Ava, our daughter's friend, had been coming on to him and that he did not know what to do. He said it started when he made a cake for her 18th birthday party. She messaged him saying that she had got his number from our daughter and thanked him for the cake. She then sent a lot of photos of herself in the dress she wore for the party. He simply replied that it looked like a fun party. She then messaged asking if he could look at her car for her as it was making a funny noise. She came round and he looked at it and said it was the brakes. He told me this at the time, so he was not hiding anything. She came round when our daughter was home, but I was not, and she went inside while my husband worked on the car outside. When it was done, she came out alone and said she had no money on her. He told her that was fine, to just bring it round whenever or give it to our daughter. She then said she could pay another way and, in his words, flashed me, and I said I have got to go and went inside, closing the door. I read through all the messages and he never replied to any of them after this incident. That afternoon, she messaged him saying, "Thanks for doing my car for me. You are cute when you are shy." She has messaged him hundreds of times since, asking if he is alone, asking for lifts, asking if he thinks she is pretty, and sending loads of pictures, ranging from fully clothed to fully nude. My husband said he did not know whether to reply, to talk to her parents, or to talk to me. He said he is scared he is going to ruin our daughter's life if this comes out. I do not know why, but I suddenly exploded. I called him a pervert. I said he must have led her on, that he must have paid her, as he is far too old and unattractive for her. I called him disgusting and said I wanted him out of the house. I told him he had ruined our daughter's life, along with plenty of other awful things. I stormed out of the house, and when I came back an hour later, he was gone. Over the last couple of days, I have calmed down and realized he has done nothing wrong, and I reacted awfully. I have tried ringing and messaging him, but he is not responding. Why did I react like that, and how do I apologize to him? What do we do about these messages? Do we talk to her or to her parents? Edit. It is 5 o'clock in the morning here in the United Kingdom now, and I am going to drive to his brother's house where he is staying, as I know he leaves for work at about 6. I am going to try to talk to him face to face. I have got flowers and chocolates and am wearing his favorite outfit. I will let you all know what happens. Update. Yesterday morning at 5:30, I went round to my husband's brother's house to wait for him to leave for work so I could talk to him. I wore his favorite dress of mine and brought him chocolates, flowers, and a letter I had written for him. The talk went exactly how many of you might have expected. He told me he had spoken to a lawyer and that he wanted a divorce. He said he could not get past what I had said, and that as soon as he laid eyes on me, he felt nothing but anxiety and a need to run. He said he would never get over my words and my actions, and that was final. I know I deserve this, but I am still incredibly heartbroken. Last night, he also met up with our daughter and told her everything. She is now not speaking to me and said she will live with her father when this is over. She also told me that her friend had been saying for years that she fancied my husband, but she always thought it was just silly talk, and that she would never actually do anything. She is still friends with Ava, but told her she would fall out with her if she did anything else. My husband also spoke to the girl's parents, who did not seem to care much. They said she is 18 and can do what she wants, and they apologized that she had tried to pursue a married man, but they said they could not ban her from talking to people. They added that she would be going to university in September and that they did not want to cause any unrest before she left. My husband said he felt a lot more relaxed after speaking to them and to our daughter, so hopefully he can sleep now. Update 2. I want to start this by saying I do not care if anyone believes me or not. I am not sharing screenshots or Ava's social media as so many men have asked. All the names are obviously fake. Last night, my daughter came to me and said she needed to talk. She told me that a friend had been in touch and had said that a couple of weeks ago, on the day of the flashing incident, during a night out, Ava left early and said she was getting a lift home with a friend. My daughter's friend left the pub 5 minutes later with her boyfriend and saw Ava getting into my husband's car. Ava and the friend made eye contact, and Ava begged the friend not to say anything, but the friend came forward to my daughter after hearing what had happened. My daughter messaged Ava, who came to see her and admitted it almost instantly. She said she did come on to my husband first when he was fixing her car, and he had responded shyly but positively to the advance, and then asked her to flash him, which she did. She mentioned she was going out that night and he said he was going out with his brother but would leave early and pick her up. She said it was her idea to keep messaging him on WhatsApp as though she were coming on to him and he was not responding, so that if they ever got caught, it would look like he had ignored her. She said they actually communicated through Telegram. This does not make sense to me, but whatever. My daughter went to see her dad and went through his phone while he was in the shower. She found the picture of Ava in his gallery, which is no surprise now, I suppose, and also found the Telegram app, but she said she could not bring herself to read the messages, which I understand. As my daughter told me this, I remembered the night he had gone out with his brother. He came in very late, and the next day he said he had been the designated driver and had to give everyone lifts home. I felt sick. I am blocked on his phone and all his social media, so I messaged his brother and told him to ask my husband to send me the Ring doorbell footage of the flashing incident. Apparently, it is gone. He panicked and deleted it, and it has been too long now anyway. Yesterday morning, my daughter asked Ava if she would come round to see me, and she agreed. She came at about 9:30, immediately began crying, and said she was sorry. I told her it was alright and that what was done, but I needed answers. She told me pretty much what my daughter had already said, but she also added that about 6 months ago, she had been at our house and went outside for a smoke. My husband was already out there. They started talking and Ava got upset, saying she thought her parents were going to split up. My husband consoled her and then said, sometimes when children get older, parents realize they do not have much in common. Do not tell Kelly, our daughter, but Sasha, me, and I are in the process of splitting up. This was the first I had heard of this. She said that was why she decided to act on the crush she had had on him for years. I will not go into the details of the night he picked her up, but they were intimate that night, and she said it happened on one more occasion since, this time in our garage where he let her in through the back garden gate to avoid the Ring doorbell. She did not tell him about the friend seeing them until a couple of days after the pickup, and that matches the time when he started acting strangely. But even during that period, he still snuck her into the garage for a sexual act. Ava then showed me all the Telegram messages. Again, I will not go into full details, but he had messaged her a couple of times saying, "You have not chased me on WhatsApp today, you had better message me on there to keep it up," and he was constantly begging for photographs. He confessed to me because the day before, the friend who saw them together told Ava she needed to talk to her about what she had witnessed. My husband obviously panicked once Ava told him this. To verify everything, I asked Ava if she could tell me something about my husband that no one would know unless they had seen him naked. She understood what I meant and instantly said he has only one testicle. She could not have gotten this information from anywhere else. Ava sent me loads of screenshots of all of their conversations. I then sent one of the screenshots to my brother-in-law and told him to tell my husband that I had the whole conversation and knew everything. I feel so stupid now. In my first post and my second one, I defended him in the comments. Anyone who said his story sounded suspicious got downvoted, and I joined in with the downvotes and the rebuttals. It turns out they were right. I am sorry to anyone I argued with who tried to tell me he was lying. Someone also messaged me and said the reason I said what I did was because my gut was telling me something was wrong, and that was why it was out of character for me, as I had never spoken about him like that before. I told that person they were wrong, that it was just my insecurities that made me say it, and then I blocked them. I am sorry, I gave him sex or a sexual act nearly every day, but it still was not enough. I did every kink he asked of me. I never said no to anything. I even told him I would like to have a threesome with another woman or watch him with other women. Why would he not do that with me, but he would cheat on me? I did everything he ever asked of me, and he still cheated. I will admit I have cheated before. I have kissed 2 other men and allowed another one to run his hands over my clothed body while I danced at a concert. He was not bothered about the kissing. He said that was not real cheating, but he did not like the incident at the concert, which I understand. I am trying to be fair and acknowledge my own faults. I have not heard from my husband or his brother. My daughter is here asleep now, and I booked a last-minute trip for both of us to the Cotswolds this weekend at a spa to get us away from this mess. Final update. I probably get about 30 messages a day asking for any new updates, so I just wanted to say that there are none. We are still getting divorced. He still has not really spoken to me. He is still at his brother's. Our daughter is living with me. As far as I am aware, he and Ava have not had any more sexual encounters, but who knows? Danikin said, "Oh no, honey, you ruined your marriage." Proto-Myth said, "I rather doubt that any spouse who is called a pervert, ugly, and accused of paying would continue to be in love." This next post was made in the relationship advice subreddit by a user named Informal Advice. The post is titled, "I want to end a 10-year-long friendship with my best friend over a stick. I need advice on what to do. I, a 26-year-old woman, have been friends with Abigail, a 25-year-old woman, for several years. We met in our freshman year and hit it off, but for the rest of high school, she was homeschooled. I met my now fiance, a 27-year-old man also in high school, and eventually introduced his best friend Robert, a 26-year-old man, to Abigail. Robert and Abigail started dating and we formed a small group. We would always hang out together, go hiking, and often look at hiking gear together before heading out on trails. A couple of weeks ago, Robert got a walking stick. He had placed it in his car and noticed that the car door was open. He drove up to me and asked me to close the door. While driving up to me, I was facing the front of the car and could not see what was blocking the door. I just shut it without looking as he had asked me to. He then started screaming, telling me that his new walking stick was now broken and that I had snapped it in half. I started crying and apologizing profusely, telling him I was so sorry and that I had just been trying to close the door. I did not even see it there, but that was not good enough for him. Later that day, he texted me asking me to reimburse him. I told him I could give him $10, but that was all. He replied that $10 was all it was worth, but that I also owed him $50 for the trouble. I was shocked, and I made the mistake of telling him the date of my payday. When that day arrived, I had forgotten all about the walking stick and had taken a nap after school and work. I woke up to countless text messages in multiple group chats with him telling me to pay up because it was my payday. I then texted him directly and asked for his payment information, but he decided to tell me that it was okay and that I did not actually have to pay him back, after he had already made a fool of me in front of all our friends. I still paid him. Fast forward to yesterday, my fiance Robert and Abigail decided to go hiking on a trail that is more dangerous than what we usually do. I decided to stay home, so the rest of the story is based on what Abigail and my fiance told me. Abigail had decided to buy a $100 fancy walking stick and wanted to test it out on the trail. Before they left, I joked with her that since the trail was known for being more intense, it might not be the best idea to bring it. She did not take my comment seriously, and I had only been joking anyway. Hours later, I got a phone call from my fiance telling me he was on his way home, while Robert was in the background repeatedly shouting, "You break it, you buy it." Apparently, on the trail, Abigail's stick got stuck in a rock. While the boys kept pushing ahead, she pulled it out. It snapped, and she hurried to catch up to them. Abigail said that if my fiance had not been going so fast, it would not have happened, and she blamed him for breaking it. Robert immediately took Abigail's side and for the rest of the hike kept pressuring my fiance to pay for it. My fiance and I are both in college and between jobs. We do not have a spare $100 to replace a high-end walking stick. They both know this. That night, Abigail texted my fiance a screenshot of the walking stick with the price circled and wrote, "I know money is hard right now, but I need my stick, so I am going to order it tonight and you can pay me back as soon as you can." Abigail and Robert both have stable jobs and are not in college. I became angry and told them that my fiance would not be paying for something he did not break, and that Abigail should not have taken that stick on such a difficult trail to begin with. They were furious, sending us endless texts insisting that we owed them money and that it was only right to pay them back. What frustrates me most is that throughout the years, every time we went somewhere, I drove and paid for the gas. I paid for dinners, movie tickets, and outdoor activities, and never once did they pay me back. I never even considered asking them to, but here they are yelling at us to pay them for something that was not our fault, while calling us ridiculous for refusing. Time and again, both of them have put money before friendship. Do I put this behind me and just pay them, or do I walk away from the friendship entirely? 2 years later, OP gave us an update. Before the update, I would like to clear some things up, as many of you correctly guessed that the situation was not truly about sticks. At the time, I was younger and wanted to get the point across without giving explicit details, so that if Robert and Abigail saw it, they would not immediately know it was about them. I was really talking about fishing rods. However, the situation remains the same. Instead of a hiking stick on a rocky trail, we were fishing on a boat prone to sinking. If you have any additional questions, I am happy to clear them up. I am no longer afraid of them finding this. Now for the update. I am happy to let you all know that I dropped those scammers. We never did pay Abigail the money she requested. We did not break it, so we did not buy it. Although sometimes I do feel some lingering, unexplained guilt about the situation. As I said, our friendship lasted over 10 years, so it was neither easy nor immediate to cut her out of my life. But it was necessary. We still follow each other on Instagram, though it is rare for us to interact. I am sorry there is no explosive ending, but I am glad you all helped me come to terms with leaving that relationship in the past. My fiance, however, has not been able to get rid of Robert as easily. After moving into the real world, Robert seemed to follow my fiance everywhere. He applied for the same job, works for the same company, and copies nearly every move my fiance makes. My fiance laughs it off and lets it go. But every now and then I am reminded of this situation and I become annoyed all over again. To give my fiance some credit though, we are no longer anywhere near as close to them as we once were. Miserable Fennel said, the summary is not exactly accurate though. They are not dropped from her life since they are still following each other on social media, occasionally talking, and Robert has essentially attached himself to OP's fiance. Unless this is one of those peaceful, slow burns where you simply let things fizzle out rather than outright saying you are done with them. But at least they are not spending time together anymore. Reducing one's optional levels of chaos is always a wise decision. Catmo said, I thought Abigail and Robert were up to something sneaky and had a few screws loose after the first post. But after the update, with the added information that Robert has essentially been a single white femaling OP's fiance, I definitely feel like there are more than just a few screws loose. Sometimes you have two people who are each a little off their rocker on their own, but who hide it well. Then they get together and all hell breaks loose. I am not sure whether they simply wind up encouraging and enabling each other's instability to come out at full strength, or if their neurons somehow sync up and unlock the true potential of their previously locked down and well-controlled tendencies toward chaos. Either way, this is not the first time I've seen this happen, and it always makes little to no sense. Love really does mess some people up. OP and her fiance are so much better off without those two lunatics. This final story was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Keep My Dog. The post is titled, I do not want to get rid of my dog for my pregnant sister. So my dad died not that long ago. It will be 6 months next week. My mom moved us out of our house because she said it hurt her too much to be there, and now we have been living in this new house for 2 months, and I hate it. Last month, my 20-year-old sister told us she is pregnant, so now she and my mom are getting ready for a baby in the house. To be honest, I'm not really as excited as they are, but I thought whatever. Until yesterday, my sister told me I have to get rid of my dog before the baby comes. I asked her why, and she said it is because dogs are bad for pregnant women and newborn babies because they carry germs and parasites. I told her that is not true. I always bathe my dog, he has all his shots, and we take him to the vet regularly. He has also been around lots of babies before and he is super friendly to them, so he cannot be a danger to her baby. My sister got mad and got my mom involved. She told my mom I was being a brat and that I do not care that I am poisoning her baby. I told my mom I did not want to get rid of my dog. My dad bought him for me as a puppy on my 9th birthday. There have been lots of changes these past months, losing my dad, us moving, and now getting ready for a new baby. My dog is my last connection to my dad. My mom is not home much, neither is my sister, so I feel like all I have is my dog. I explained to my mom why I do not want to get rid of him. She said she understands that he is important to me, but I need to stop thinking about myself and consider my baby niece or nephew. I said I do not even believe my dog is bad for my sister's pregnancy. She has never liked him since dad bought him, and I feel like she is using this to get him out of our house. My mom said she is not going to force me to get rid of him and will leave it up to me. My sister has been mad at me since and keeps making comments about how she hopes me taking my sweet time, deciding what to do will not damage her baby. They are both expecting me to do the right thing, but I do not know if I want to. Does that make me bad? Am I the antagonist for wanting to keep my dog? P.S. My dog avoids my sister because she treats him badly if he gets close, so it is not like he will be all over her. Update. I read lots of people's comments on this and I was really happy to know that I wasn't hurting my sister or her baby by having my dog around. A lot of you sent me some good information. I decided to show what some of you commented to my mom and sister as proof that my dog isn't bad since she was so worried. I also told my mom that I'm not going to get rid of my dog because he means too much to me, and that would hurt him too. My mom agreed with me more after I showed her the information and said my dog doesn't have to go anywhere. My sister seemed even more mad after that. Not just because of the information, but because I told a bunch of strangers our business. My sister still kept pushing to get rid of him because she doesn't want to be around him while she's living here. My mom and she ended up having a big fight over it. There was lots of yelling and arguing for days until finally my sister said she's leaving unless we get rid of him. She said it like a threat, I guess, because she thought that would make my mom force me to give him away. My mom didn't want her to leave, but that's what she ended up doing because I wouldn't give up my dog. For months it's been like this. She moved in with one of her best friends, I think, but she doesn't want to talk to my mom at all. For a long time, my mom was even sadder, and that actually made me start to feel guilty again because it seemed like this was all my fault. Things weren't good for a while. My mom was talking to me less and it felt like we were strangers living together instead of family. But she said it wasn't my fault what happened, so it's not that she was mad at me for my sister leaving. She was just sad about everything, and that made her not talk or be around me. Finally, after months, my mom and I are talking better again and she's actually spending a little more time with me. It's still not the same anymore though. My sister still hasn't called us and I don't know when she's due, but it should be really soon. Everything didn't happen the way I hoped it would, but I'm happy to still have my dog around. He helped me deal with everything. Thank you everyone for showing me I made the right decision keeping him. You guys made it easier to give them all this information about how wrong my sister was about dogs affecting pregnancy and showed me I wasn't doing anything bad for wanting to keep the last connection I have to my dad. He's still here by my side and I'm grateful for all the support. B. Stabbin said, the moment she needs a babysitter, she will be home again. OP should be prepared for another round of get rid of your dog, this time because it keeps him from babysitting his niece or nephew. To this, Boeing 367 said, I doubt the sister actually believes the dog causes harm. She just wants it gone and figured pregnancy was unbeatable leverage. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.